Hey everybody, what's going on? ShabbyDoo here, and today we've got a freaking banger of an update for Icarus Content Update Week 4. Get your freaking tissues ready because this is all about the Waterworks, baby. So I want to get right into this. This week we've added technology and improvements to one of the core features, farming, including new water automation. The Chad, this is for frickin' you. And like I've always been saying, this is going to be one of the greatest systems in Icarus in the long run, and I'm so glad they're giving its love this early and not waiting months. So this week's update adds an array of new technology and improvements to our core features. Farming. The core principle of farming has been to provide a steady, self-sustaining food source for the harsher climates and to alleviate the time often invested into hunting. As we flesh this out, we've grown the scope of what it can become, and this week we're adding in new technology such as water piping, which will allow for more automated solutions for water and crops, along with other applications like sprinkler systems to protect your structures from fire. You'll also find the addition of fertilizing and changes to the decaying mechanics of crops. To wrap up all these changes for you, there's a new farming mission which incorporates all of these new features in its objectives. Holy shit, this content is massive. And after coming out with, like, I honestly thought they were going to take a break, give us like a wet noodle of an update for week 14 after giving everybody the talent respecs in week 13. But holy shit, they're coming in hot. And if they keep this trend up, hey, I mean, I think people will come back, and I think their reviews will start to go a little higher. If you agree with me, leave me a like down below and leave a comment. Let me know what you think. But let's get into it. Water piping improvements. Water piping takes farming from a strictly manual process to one with automation capabilities. With this comes three tiers of crop plots, standard wood, but also an iron and a hydroponic. Iron and hydroponic plots add the option for water connections, providing improved growth rates from crops for better efficiency in the late game and on more daring missions. This might actually make farming packs a little more viable. In addition to water inputs, the hydroponics plot also takes power inputs to emulate the greenhouse buff, making it a powerful all-in-one unit. So that's nice. So you don't even need a greenhouse with that. I wonder if you can combine them, though, to make a super growth. Interesting. We'll have to test. Maybe if you're checking us, if you're already watching this, we'll be live tonight at 7 p.m. Friday, the 11th. Yeah, it's the 11th. Friday the 11th. We'll be live at 7 p.m. doing some co-op, and we'll be doing this new mission. So if you want to see all this in action, come by and stop by. Come say hi and hang out for a little while. Water piping also offers other applications, one of the most prevalent being installing sprinklers into buildings for surprise fires caused by lightning or a careless prospector. If you play with Mr. Twigs, you're going to need these. We'll be looking to add more applications for them in the future also, but this will give you a taste of how we plan to incorporate more automated industrial features into key elements of the game, which is great. This game needs automation, all right? I'm getting moist just thinking about all this Waterworks here, okay? Farming is a great way for prospectors to ensure long-term survivability and accessibility to resources which may otherwise be out of reach on any given mission. There's a fairly steep investment in order to maximize a farm's output. It can involve things like water and power networks, greenhouse buildings, fertilizing, production, and more. But there are also entry-level farming setups for the budding, pun intended, farmer. Adam, lead game designer. I like how they're putting quotes of people now, but this is great, though. Farming talent improvements. So, you know, if you already unspec'd, sorry, put them back in. Along with our new deployables and tiered crop plot system, we've added a range of new farming talents to incorporate these new systems and add more variation for players who want to specialize in being the provider for the team. You can see the full list of new and updated talents in the detailed changelog below. Ooh, look at that. Was that a fertilizer? A little composter there? Little bag? Okay. I see you growing corn. All right. Farming mission, agricultural hydroponics. This week's update comes with a new mission to introduce all the new features to the player base. Mission Agricultural Hydroponics requires you to set up an agricultural hub on the surface and grow a range of crops to be taken back to the scientists on board the hub for testing for the chemical differences to earth-grown variants. This will require a structured greenhouse setup with a proper water network, power supply, and fertilizer. So this is obviously going to be a tier 4 mission. The hydroponics, I saw a picture of it. It requires composites and electronics, so get ready, boys. Get ready. And girls. So overall, honestly, this is amazing. I've been saying it for a while. We needed an update to farming. It was just a giant wet noodle of content. It was useful, but it wasn't at the same time, like, especially in a mission to mission standpoint, like there wasn't a lot for it. But now this is just giving more variation, some flavor, and just overall making it seem like real content rather than just a last minute sticker. So let's get into the changelog, because there is some good stuff in here we got to talk about too. So added several new talents and changed an existing one based around farming. So we get the all-nighter talent. Crafted crops and crop plots grow faster at night, which is interesting because that means it seems like it's better for you to not skip the night. Neat and tidy. Crafted crop plots use less fertilizer. Shoot the breeze. Grants the recipe to make gunpowder from the fertilizer on the mortar and pestle. All right. All right. Get off my lawn. Grants the recipe to make the rusty shotgun on the machining bench. Oh, is this a new one? We'll have to check that out. Speed grow. Crafted crop plots grow crops faster. Bumper crop. Crafted crop plots yield more crops. Sturdy stalks. Crafted crop plots crops spoil slower when harvested. Interesting. Gathering guru. Increased yield from harvesting by hand. Also useful because I'm assuming you're going to harvest all these by hand anyways. Get up and go. Increase the base stamina. All right. And the old one, too, increases melee damage. That's an interesting one for the farmer, but it makes sense. So what do we got in here? We got a nice little detailed changelog here. We're not going to go over all of them. I do want to just go over like the first couple until we get into like where they fix things here, because then that's just kind of all the extra little flavor stuff. Go check them out for sure, but I don't want to run your ears off too much by running my sock. So fixed issue causing data corruption that could lead to unexpected loss of items talents. We talked about this in the last video where they put out the crash patch. Make sure if you're crashing to send the updates into the team. That way they can actually start putting in measures to stop that from happening, which is great. I've heard a lot of improvements so far from people from the community. So updated fresh is the best talent. Crops grown in crafted crop plots do not wither away after they have finished growing. Amazing. Added crafting speed modifiers to the cement mixer, composters, and kitchen bench when connected to a water network. Interesting. So that means we can or must connect cement mixers to water, which makes sense. You do need water for cement. And the kitchen bench. That sounds cool. So added sprinkler to the game, which provides massive fire protection when connected to a water source. Added new UI for water connections in crop plots. Added new hydroponic crop plot, which uses water connections to increase speed growth. Added new metal crop plot, which has a higher durability than the standard crop plot and can be connected to water. The durability makes no sense. I've never seen these things lose durability, so... Added new wood composter, which creates fertilizer from spoiled plants and speeds up the spoiling of organic items placed in. So notice it said spoiled plants. So they've changed how plants break down and decompose. So I don't know what it's called yet. I'm going to assume it's going to be spoiled plants is the name. So instead of spoiled meat, you'll now also have spoiled plants, which you're going to use to make fertilizer. Added new fertilizer assets and mechanics. Fertilizer can be crafted in the composter or chemistry bench and applied to crop plots to increase yield and growth speed. Added new watered crops modifier. Added new crop yield stat, which increases the quantity of crops from farming. And I kind of hope they show all this like in a tangible form within the UI. Added spoiled item variants for all fruit and vegetable types. Expanded greenhouse detection to require multiple glass building pieces to be in range. So I'm sorry, people, if you've been using the glass beam trick. No longer, until we find something new, of course. Expanded, added growth stages and dead stage for lily crops. Interesting. Increased by 100% the amount of time it takes before crops spoil and can no longer be harvested. Okay. Updated the crop visuals for corn, lily, berry bush, squash, watermelon, pumpkin, cocoa, coffee, green tea, and the wild tea. Increased water skin consumption from 15 units to 500 units when watering crops. Oh, that's good. That's good. So... that's awesome. So that means you can use your, you can still water crops with your skins and whatnot in your canteens. Add a new stat for grown crops, which differentiate them from harvested crops. Okay, good to know. Added new farming crop plot UI to display modifiers and connection states on deployables, including in-world tips. So this is what I was just saying. So we'll test that out tonight. So make sure you stop by at 7 p.m. Eastern. And we'll be streaming live co-op and going through all this stuff. So add a new farming stockpile mission. That's what we're going to be doing. Added the ability to connect a water connection to the cement mixer, kitchen bench, biofuel composter, and electric composter, not the wooden one. Added new wither stage to crops where they are available for players to access, but if the players leave the crop in the planter after a period of time, they will wither and die and turn into spoiled plants. Added ranks to talents in the cooking and farming and firearms tree. Changed empty plot key to hold X instead of F. Okay. Added consumable setup and tags for beans so that they can be put in the icebox and consumed like other veggies. So we can eat them raw. That's gross. And then these are the fixes where they're like fixing crashes and whatnot, which is where that whole the new submission came in. They fixed missing objecting text not wrapping on the window, causing things to stretch. And then, you know, just a bunch of other little things here. Definitely check them out if you've been having issues or if you just want to know all the little stuff. I'm not going to read all these off one by one to you. If you do like that, though, leave me a comment down below and we can start bringing that back. We did it a few times, but I'm just not sure if how many of you wanted to stick around and listen to that. But if you do, let me know down below if I was wrong and leave me a comment telling me, read them all, Shabby. Shabby, read them all. Give us that sweet, sultry tune for all the updates. But yeah, guys, that's going to wrap it up here. So overall, amazing. I can't wait to jump into this content and just see how it all works. We're going to do that tonight. Like I said, 7 p.m. Eastern live. Come stop by, even if it's just for 5 seconds, say hello. I'd love to see you there, or just stop in and lurk too. That's also great. You don't have to say anything. I appreciate it, but you don't. It's all the same to me. So, but yeah, guys, as usual, if you're loving this kind of stuff, make sure you hit that like button down below. Like I said, leave me comments for everything we've talked about so far and what you think about this update. Yada, yada, yada. And also, while you're down there, hit that subscribe button as well so you can get back here for that sweet, Shabby content. We got a lot of good survival stuff coming up here, and obviously still Icarus. But all right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up here. So as usual, this has been ShabbyDoo, and I hope the rest of your day is not too shabby.